Hey everybody! Got it to work. And I'm gonna do a little test now. Oh boy. Okay, I'm a bit loud, but that's fine. Woohoo! Setting up so I can see my chat and so that I can see other stuff. There we are. As I mentioned, today I'm playing Terra Swoop Force, which is a Minecraft map made by Noxcrew. So, let's jump in. As you notice, I also made a new little persona for myself. Not a persona, I guess. More just... oh. I guess the right term would be I made a little... VTuber, that's the word. I made a new little VTuber. Yeah. Okay, audio's working. Making Java maps helped us grow our community. Making maps for Minecraft Bedrock Edition has allowed us to pursue our passion as a career. To support us, search Noxcrew on the Minecraft Marketplace or visit noxcrew.com/creations. Yeah! I have this on Bedrock, but since I got Java working, I thought it'd be better if I played it on there. Oh, hey, look. Animated little computer screens. That's fun. That's fun. Okay. I'm gonna turn captions on. Oh, wait, I'm gonna be covering the captions. Oh, I gotta move myself real quick. Yeah, whoops. Let's move myself over. Because I'm gonna be covering up those captions real bad. Oop. There we are. Now I won't cover up the captions. Wait. Huh. There we are. Got you. And got you. Okay. Any other settings? Push me to test the music, push me to test the voices. Ah! Music's too loud. I should have done these settings beforehand, but eh. Let's turn the master volume down to 20%. Still too loud. Music. Okay, I'm just gonna turn it down here. Okay, that's better. I can actually fix up the audio then now. I guess while I'm getting the music and stuff set up, I could talk about some stuff. What should I talk about? I guess I have a couple of opinions that I could talk about, just like ooh, random controversial opinions that aren't actually all that controversial, but people, like, go hog wild about it. Okay, yeah. That's about the right volume. Let's see what the rest of these buttons do. Okay, over here is Terra Swoop Force. Want more? Find us online. Okay. That's cool. And let's see what... Noxcrew! Alright, and then this button over here probably starts the game. So... yeah, there we are. Check them out. Ah. There we are. Okay, this has some interesting mechanics. Birds. I'm gonna turn down my FOV. Not FOV. I'm gonna turn down my stuff so that it's, you know, not gonna mess everyone up, because it looks like it's gonna be doing some laggy stuff right now if I don't turn down my rendered chunks. That's better-ish. I wish I could use Minecraft optimization mods on this version. Ooh. That's fun. Yeah. Let's start the game then. Okay. You know, speaking of sound.
Oh, welcome. Oh. We were expecting you almost half an hour ago.
God,
but being
animated.
A tad late is far better than being melted to death and never showing up. Am I right? Okay, we are already running late, so you should probably head upstairs to begin Alan's briefing on the mission. Good luck!
Oh my god, they're animated.
See you soon! Have a nice trip! Are they gone? Are we finished?
Oh, I guess she can't see me. That's funny. Yeah, I knew that. I mean, without the motion, they look a little creepy, but the animations actually really sell them.
I spent the last 20 minutes thinking about my cat Lily.
Oh, they're saying things. I don't know what they're saying, though. That's interesting. Huh.
You guys haven't noticed a strange beeping coming from the
They have, like, actual menus and stuff. This is... Dear God, they put a lot of effort into this. Oh, my. Tuna sandwich, spiced tuna taco, tuna dog. That's a lot of tuna. Huh. Tuna, turnip and tuna. Tuna dumplings, curry with tuna. Tuna sweet corn, pasta bake, tuna spinach pancakes, tuna protein pot. Why do they have so much tuna? Oh my god. That's a weird amount of tuna. Oh. Oh. Stan's the kind of guy who has to force himself to love his work. Sorry, Stan. Stan's the kind of guy who brings a bounty castle to work. Oh, that was his bounty castle. Stan's the kind of guy who doesn't actually exist, but we can hope. Okay. Stan's the kind of guy who gets employee of the month all the time. Stan's the kind of guy who gets upset if you don't like him. Stan's the boss here. Stan's the kind of guy who has long periods of productivity, but Stan also gets short periods of long productivity. Stan's the kind of guy who doesn't have his own office. Stan's the kind of guy who you don't know if you love or hate him. He works in the same room as his workers. He respects them. Stan's the kind of guy who would fall asleep in a presentation. Stan's the kind of guy who would force you to love him. Stan's the kind of guy who doesn't put his face on things. Stan's the kind of guy who brings a cat to work, thus the litter tray. Stan's the kind of guy who lives the life to the full. Stan's the kind of guy who puts others in front of himself, but only when it means nothing to Stan. Stan's the kind of guy who writes all these signs himself. Oh. Okay. That's a little worrying. I hope Stan's okay.
Sideways.
Oh no. I guess we can only hope to be like Stan the Jerry Raider. Guess it rates Jerry's? I mean, you're a nice looking Jerry, I guess, so yeah, I rate you a 4 out of. Out of what? Who knows? Okay. That looks like it's... Okay, that's just kind of there. Oh, there's a named NPC over there. I guess I might need to enter there at some point. And I can't enter here, so I've got to find my way around, I guess. I think I was told to go upstairs, so... Okay. Okay, upstairs. I'm still thinking about the like ideal worker thing, where it's the guy just wrote so much about what he does. You just worry about him, I guess. Like, what kind of guy? Oh. Oh boy, he's asleep.
My favorite season.
He's just conked. Holy. Look at him. I'm in his face. I'm guessing this button will wake him up. There we are. Couldn't press it the first few times.
The following is a GDL certified presentation, recorded and made for strict use of the Geodescent lab grounds only.
Right. Let's see. Yes. Welcome.
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 Hello.
Welcome to Geodescent Labs, where
Yes.
digging into the past is of the past, because we're digging into the future instead of the past.
Of course, of course.
My name is Alan Columbus, and I'm the one in charge of running the
Okay,
operations here.
61.
So,
Ooh.
please do take a seat, as the following presentation will outline your mission in adequate detail.
I would have guessed he was 50.
Right. Approximately 30 years ago, we sent a bore drill with a two-man crew to create a tunnel to the center of the Earth.
I imagine
However,
it melted?
Once that drill reached the core,
Okay,
we
it
lost all
didn't.
communication with the crew. And, well,
Oh.
the crew themselves. So, the project was completely shut down due to the unforeseen casualties. I say unforeseen, but you know the nature of the... Now,
Oh, hey,
fast
it has
forward to
360
about a
degree
year
audio.
ago, we discovered a new type of rock deep down in the earth named Noxcesium,
Meow.
that when cooked at a temperature of 3,456 degrees, along with a cow's udder, apple cider vinegar, a few gummy bears, dried washing up liquid, and a spleen of a... You know what? In brief, it allowed us to create a new alloy that we managed to translate into a fully fledged metallic wingsuit.
You know, this
named
reminds
the
me of
Thermal
something.
Flight
I'll
Armor
mention it when it's done.
1541. This suit is made to withstand the highest heats known to man, and so we believe, the center of the Earth. This is where you come in. You have been hired for a mission to fly down to the
Aw,
center of the
little
Earth,
cartoon villager.
wearing the Thermal Flight Armor 1541 to rescue the
that's
long-lost bore drill. Providing that it's intact, you should be able to use the power in your
probably
suits
melted, man.
to power it up and drive it all the way back. It would also be nice to recover the bodies
Yeah.
of the crew we lost and
They're probably also
bring them
melted.
back for their families. Okay,
Sorry to them.
let's talk about how you're going to do it. The bore drill gradually made its way to the Earth's core through 3 separate tunnels in a zigzag formation. You will glide using your suits all the way down to the center of the Earth through these tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of tunnel 1 and 2, there is a base camp that you can use to rest up at. However, beyond tunnel 3, well, it's all on you at that point.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know what you're going to find down there, but I'm sure you all agreed upon the possible dangers when you signed up for this job. Right. As soon as this brief is finished, you'll head out the door behind you and follow the route down to the armory, where you will equip your brand spanking new Thermal Flight Armor 1541s.
Okay.
And then progress to
2016.
the drop zone.
Ooh.
Sasha, is it possible to get this recording to self-destruct after it's finished? You know, like the Mission Impossible
It's
film.
impossible.
No? What do you mean, no? Okay. Okay, never mind.
Okay, that's funny.
Marty.
Hey, they even built like a projector.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Boom! I'm blowing it up. Boom, boom. Cool guys don't look at explosions. They just get blown up with it. Yeah.
Hello? No, this isn't the GDL facility. This is Sasha.
Okay.
My shoelaces again.
Yeah, there's a projector. Okay, so that little recipe thing, it reminded me of like, hello. It reminded me of this study that was done between some people who were like into historical stuff and also medicine. And basically they were looking at old leech books, otherwise known as doctor's journals from the Middle Ages. And in one of the leech books, they found this thing called, I think, Bald's Eye Salve. And it was meant to deal with, you know, styes and stuff. Oh, that's cute. Look, it's Noxcrew from 2016. Someone had a Zoidberg skin. Nice. Then Noxcrew 2020, they updated it. Also nice. And when they tested Bald's Eye Salve against some antibiotic-resistant stuff, such as eye styes, the bacteria inside of an eye sty. An eye sty, by the way, is an infection you get in your eyelid that can be really, really painful and uncomfortable and all that jazz. So it's a problem when it's, you know, resistant to antibiotics, because that means you can't really cure it and it'll just get worse, and that's bad. And the reason I remembered Bald's Eye Salve is that it's made out of stuff like garlic, honey, and some of the salts from, it's not actually salts, but they call it salts. Basically, some of the crystals from within a cow's stomach.
The tuna in the cafeteria is haunted.
It's haunted? Okay. Shark feeding for beginners. List of evil masterminds' layers. Pictures of baby sharks. Videos of baby sharks. History of people eaten by baby sharks. Food. Okay. Flight suit manual, Polish translation, employee lunch, lost and found. Printed gifts. Ooh, that sounds good. Gimme, 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 gimme. I can't. That's sad. Darn. Let's see which color I want. I mean, okay, let's look at my skin to see which color would look best on me. Maybe white? I don't know. White, green, red, blue. Blue's kind of nice. Brown. Black, lime green. Okay, I know which one I'm gonna go with. I'd set up a poll or whatever, but checking? Yeah, no one's really watching, so I'm just gonna choose myself. And my choice, with a single vote of me, is this one.
Swing boot up sequence initiated. A number of checks will now commence. Please stand by.
Oh, I don't think I was supposed to
Swing
walk out.
flexibility check complete. Suit alloy fusion integrity check complete. Inline breathability module flowing.
That's fun.
Thermal resistance gel application complete.
Oh.
Welcome to the TFA 1541.
Shark.
I am Ellie, and I will accompany you on your journey to the center of the Earth. For your safety, do not attempt to land the suit until I have deployed the landing gear.
Okay, Ellie.
Do not drive the TFA 1541 into water, hot liquids, or magma. Enjoy your flight.
You just said it was safe for the center of the Earth and I can't fly it into magma. That is worrying, Ellie. Oh no. What's the Nox Mammoth?
Some say the fabled Nox Mammoth was merely a collector of treasure. But most experts agree that the excrement of a beast this size would prove fantastic.
Okay.
Individuals brave enough to inspect the rear of these gentle giants may be richly rewarded.
Okay.
Or not.
Interesting.
An original inhabitant of the Geodescent Lab's Alpha campsite, the dumb shark was famously lured onto the hook of Dr. Minowski with a plate of salami. Fun story. A couple of years back, we caught a massive shark with a boat stuck on it. We thought
Dumb
that
shark.
we might mate, but when we introduced the boat shark to the tank, dumb shark just ate it in a matter of seconds. A whole shark, just one gulp. Pat the boat right back out, poor shark.
Dumb shark. Go around eating people. Go munch, 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 munch. That's fun. Oh yeah, basically they tested Bald's eye salve against a bunch of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. I don't know the specifics of which ones, but they were more effective than pretty much...
Dr. Barney and Dr. Minowski mystery is finally going to be solved.
Yes, it is.
Wait.
I can't either. I don't know these men. So, yeah, when they tested it, it took out like 90% of the bacteria. Okay. And yeah, that's the story. Woohoo! Huh.
The Terra Swoop Force has arrived. Descent sequence will initiate upon activation of the hatch door controls.
Hello, Tasha. Oh, wait, you're just the person who was at the... Okay. Tasha was just the front desk person. Drop-ops. Ooh, bathroom tile. I never thought of using Prismarine for that. That's a smart usage. Very smart usage. Yeah. That's good. Hup. Oh. Yay.
Warning. Borehole hatch doors are preparing to open. Please stand clear of the drop zone. Remember, GDL will not be held responsible in the event of a likely death. Your descent will begin in 3, 2, 1.
I'm not... This is probably a good time to mention I am not good at elytras. However, I've also only ever tested with elytras using, what's the term? Bedrock controls? So maybe I'm better at them than I think? I don't know. I seem to be doing okay. Yeah. Especially given that things literally aren't loading for me with the high speeds I'm going at. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good actually.
The base camp has been reached. Activating the console in the oxygen
Yay.
renewal chamber will rendezvous all active TFA 154 modules to Alpha Base.
I'm gonna plug in my computer so that it doesn't run out of battery midway through the stream. That would be very bad. I'm better at this than I thought, actually. My only experience with Elytra Flight has been through playing it on my iPad and, okay. Has been through playing on my iPad and I guess watching people do MCC. So I genuinely thought it was like way harder than what it apparently is. Huh. Elytra's easy. That or this is an easy map. I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. I'm locked in. Shoot. Okay, maybe I can parkour my way out? Oh, there's a ladder, thank gosh. Oh, that was bad. I could have gotten very stuck. There we are. Okay, let's cycle the airlock. Yay!
Please wait for the oxygen renewal chamber to cycle.
Will do. Speaking of tiny little animals that live in your food, you know, the little things that make you sick, bacteria, that's the word. Speaking of bacteria and enzymes and biotic stuff, you know how if you spit into like rice or chips and then you leave it for 30 minutes, it'll like become all sweet because the enzymes in your spit break down the starches into sugars? Okay, I think this is another map. Okay. Okay, I've never seen this map before, so this one's gonna be a bit more of a mystery to me of how to get through it. Okay, maybe I just remember the map well from seeing other people do it. Huh, that's interesting then. Because I do watch MCC pretty regularly, and ow. That is a map they use in MCC. The first one? I don't think they use this one as often though. And wow, the map makers put a lot of effort into this. Like, look at this stuff. It's so pretty. Oh no. I want to go. My dinner was ready. I just ate though. Actually, let me tell you what I had. I had some really, really good bratwurst. And the bratwurst, ow, I'm just gonna let myself fall. Oh. I should visit my doctor at my earliest convenience. Oh, I love these custom death messages. They're so funny. Got stuck in the text box. I actually just want to see what some of these death messages are. 1 second. Create a mathematical impossibility. Oh, that's really fun. It would have been really annoying if it was just hit the ground too hard 100 times. I licked an icicle and I died. Oh, I should make little animations of me doing all these different deaths and then just kicking the bucket. Oh, I want to see how all of these deaths happen. That would be hilarious. And I could pair it with, like, the music. I keep accidentally hitting that gray glass. That's the issue I keep having. Oh my god, dinosaur. Okay. Okay. Ow. Maybe I can save this, maybe I can't. If I can't, then oh well. Okay. And down, and up, and around. This, okay, I get why so many people on Minecraft say they like this. My god, Elytra Flight's so much more fun on Java. Holy heck. Like, I thought... Oh my gosh, Bedrock really just has terrible Elytra Flight. That is just iPad stuff. They should really rehaul the way they do Elytra Flight on an iPad, I suppose. I'm gonna just hit the ground on purpose. Oh. Okay. I wanted to redo that level.
Base camp has been reached. Activating the console in the oxygen renewal chamber for rendezvous all active TFA 1541 modules.
That sucks.
Database.
Oh well. I'm having a fun time at least. Oh yeah, back to spitting in your Cheerios. Basically the enzymes that make it so that starch turns into sugar in your spit. I found this out from a food YouTube channel I watch. I don't remember their name right now, but if I do, I'll put it into my community tab.
For the oxygen renewal chamber to cycle.
Okay. And the thing that I ended up doing with the idea is... What was I saying? Ooh, fun. Basically, the... Okay, I'm gonna think of my thoughts. Sassy baka, sassy. Embrace your inner... Okay, yeah, enzymes in your spit that make starch turn into sugars, that's the same enzymes that are used in oat milk to turn the starches in oat milk into sugars. So that's why if you have Oatly, it's mildly sweet, and how they say that it has 7 grams of sugar despite it not having any sugar added to it. It's because the Oatly converts the starches from the oats into sugars. So that's how it works, and I think that's really cool. But then it made me think of this cursed idea where, what if I, as like a little video or something, I basically would try to make my own oat milk using my own spit. And yeah. I'm gonna hit the ground. Mainly, oh come on, let me fall. There. I ran out of free play time. Oh no. Oh, the tragedy. Tragedy. Oh, the tragedy. I'm I'm hitting the ground and I'm not gonna start. I was doing bumble rap and it just said no. I was trying to do mumble rap and it just said no. Sorry, you suck. Don't do that, please. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I could have done that. That's really funny. Okay, I think they added more modern references or something in the updates they did to like the graphics since they first made this map, which is cool. Golly gee, Elytra Flight is fun. I sure do like going on my awesome wings and flying around at high speeds or low speeds, given that I'm currently probably going to hit the ground. Oh no. No! Too far beyond plus ultra. I have to remember that I'm not an anime protagonist, sadly. Oh, if I were in an anime, I'd either be a background character, or I'd be the really, really sad, pathetic little villain who keeps coming back, and you're like, and the heroes keep going like, wah. They keep going, no, Blarbo, stop being annoying, and I'm like, oh. And the heroes, it's like a running joke. If I was in an anime, though, I totally would not be the random person who continually does annoying stuff of like... I get that it's probably a cultural difference or whatever, but I find it really annoying when there's just like excessive panty shots in an anime to the point where it's like taking away from the plot, where it's like a serious moment and then it just shows one of the characters' butts and you're like, oh, why'd you have to do that? And it's really annoying. I wonder what TCF is. Oh wait, Terra Swoop Force, it has prequels? Yeah, I guess I didn't play them. I should figure out what those are and play those. That would be fun. My head. I do. I'm like that one game reviewer playing Cuphead and I'm like, how do I jump? Oh no. I feel bad for those game reviewers who like clearly don't know what's going on with the game they're playing. It feels like they're just set up to fail. I forgot my Floop squad. Oh no, Floop squad. Whatever shall I floop? If nothing else, this game's giving me plenty to talk about, so that's good. Ow. I do like this game. It's fun, actually. I think the flight mechanics are really cool. However, the way they did the flight mechanics in Minecraft is really fun. I think it'd be cool to try like an entire game that's built around this kind of stuff with like maybe sort of high speed, high reward kind of stuff. I was wrong on the internet. Oh god, that is one of my greatest fears, is that I'll say something that I'm unknowledgeable about and then I'll get like destroyed on the internet. It's less so that it's destroyed on the internet and more that someone will like try to fuck with me in real life. And I think that would be really, really bad. I indeed am afraid of heights. Oh yeah, I remember this thing about like, I don't remember where and I don't remember when. I think that's the drill that I'm supposed to be looking for. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the one going to the center of the earth. I mean... Ow. Okay, maybe I should get lower to the ground next time. What? I want to try to go through the... I used to rule the world. Chunks would load when I gave the word. I got boiled. Oh no! Boil me! Genuinely having a fun time right now. have a hard time telling apart the areas. Yes! Yes, they did it! Haha! Ow. Yep. I've died 15 times? Oh, they keep count. That's cool. I say, seething in rage. My hands shaking as I white knuckle grip my keyboard. I know where my light switch is, game. Don't you test me. I zone out on what I'm saying pretty often, and it probably results in it sounding really, I wanna play. Don't speak for me, game. You ever heard of soul reads? Okay, so the soul reads basically, you look at a person and you're like, you're part of this group, or you like this thing, and it's just, you don't know anything about the person, and it's just entirely your brain's natural pattern matching, I guess, that's telling you about the person. You know, like you see this pattern between people and you just go, yeah, you. Yeah. I know some funny stuff about soul reads that happen to be correct, but like, yeah, that's all. Zoom, zoom, brown, brown, car noises, car, boom, 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 now, speed. Ow, I'm going to burn to death. I indeed did. Tragic. I asked too many questions and I got burned for it. Oh, that reminds me, once I got like a really bad burn. You don't actually feel really bad burns if you get them quick enough until afterwards, and even then it's the area around the really bad burn that you get that hurts, not the really bad burn itself. Ow. And basically the way I got the burn was that I was having fun with my parents, I think. I was doing something. Oh my god, there's explosion effects. That's cool. I was having fun with my parents, I was doing something, and I'd just gotten out of the car, and I must have had food because at the time I had just gotten out of having braces, and so I wore a retainer, and I dropped my retainer under the car, and so I thought, okay, I guess I'll reach under the car to get my retainer, and then my arm wasn't long enough, so I just went for it with my leg, and then I went under there, and there was a noise. And, well, I had gotten a shiny piece of skin that was, I think, either a second or third degree burn. And it was really bad, and my hair had fused with my skin there. Yeah. Didn't have to go to the hospital or anything because it was like the size of a postage stamp. But got a scar from it, just on my leg. You can't see it now, but hair just doesn't grow there right. So it looks like I shaved one specific part of my leg. So it's fun. I didn't. My favorite color, it's not... My favorite color, it's not purple, it's rue. I couldn't recite my favorite color. I'm like Dr. Allen, where his favorite color became yellow? Yeah, that's him, right? I blue shelled myself. Yeah. I should probably start trying to actually succeed at this thing. Implying I haven't been trying to succeed before. You know what? Yeah, I haven't been going full gamer mode. Let me. Gamer. 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 Ah. Oh no. Guess gamer mode is a bit too dark. Saddening. Heh. I really wonder why people get kind of angry at games. Maybe it's like the need to perform, because I played through the entirety of Octodad and I didn't rage once. Like, I don't know why Markiplier was raging at that game so hard. It's pleasant. The gaming controls make sense. I had an easy time playing it. Ow. I'll just keep going. See if I hit anything. If I don't, then ow. I didn't just let them down. I let myself down. Ow. I thought it was already deployed, not always deployed. Thank you. I wonder what would happen if I went in the other direction. Ow. I'm curious. I'm gonna try that. Okay. Oh! Okay, this way gets you through the hoops a little easier, I think. I would prefer to go the way I have been going, though. Okay, they're starting to repeat. That's too bad. Oh. Pokemon. I think the Pixelmon mod's kind of weird because they're just using 3D models of the Pokemon, and they don't look like they belong in Minecraft, so it creates a sort of creepy comparison between the player characters and the Pokemon that they contain. Within themselves, I suppose, because I said contain instead of have, which has some unsettling implications. Mainly that they're containing Pokemon within themselves, like chest bursters. That reminds me of a show I've been watching. I've been watching this doctor show, and I don't know how medically accurate this is, but they had a plot point where this one lady, she has twins, and a problem occurred where both twins, because, you know, they were identical twins, had basically both had little tumors in their tiny little lungs. And so they did a surgery on the twins to remove the tumors, but they had some issues where they had to remove part of the lady's womb. And because of that, there was only room for one twin. Oh no! And so the solution that they came up with that made me go, because I don't know if that's something that could be done, or if there's any medical example of it. I do want to ban her funeral. If there's any medical example of it or something, they just kind of put one twin into the womb and let the other twin just kind of floating around with the rest of the organs. And my thought is, like, it's already bad enough to have a baby that's, like, in you and kicking around. Do you really want one that can, like, directly grab your liver? That sounds like a bad idea. Like, at least put the baby in a plastic bag in there or something so that it can't go around grabbing your organs with its tiny little baby claws. They have fingernails when they're born. I can't imagine what kind of damage those baby nails would do to people's organs. Also, the whole worry about it being like an ectopic pregnancy, where it's like, usually ectopic pregnancies are apparently just pregnancies that happen in the fallopian tube, and the problem with that is the fallopian tube's not big enough to handle a whole baby, so that's bad. Yeah. I wonder how ectopic pregnancies are handled, like if it's a survivable thing for the baby. I should look that up. That's something I wonder. Yeah, it's a good enough show. Most of those doctor medical drama shows are really not good. Especially Grey's Anatomy. I hate Grey's Anatomy. It's a bad show. I dislike Grey's Anatomy. Controversial opinion, Grey's Anatomy is bad. I don't like the show. Oh, I've been playing so long, the music stopped. I think I'll need to put on my own music if I want to keep having music. Oh no. I've been going too long and the music just kind of stopped playing. Maybe the quiet will help me. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna start playing some banger tunes. Having actual music, yay. Okay. Some pizza. If I come up with more stuff to talk about, then cool. Right now, though, I'm kind of just trying to concentrate really hard on the game. Darn, I'm at an unstoppable force. I was talking about this recently. Of my theory of life. And that theory is that unstoppable force, immovable object, they're the same thing. Because the force to keep yourself in place and the, you know, force to keep moving, kind of the same thing. Nope, I'm gonna fail. Hey, Monty Python reference. Gotta love those things. It's a pizza time. This is the 30-minute long version of this song, by the way, so it's just kind of gonna keep going with this. Unless anyone says otherwise, and again, I'm pretty much the only person here, so yeah. I mean, unless you're watching the VOD, or you're, like, rewinding. I prefer if it was being watched live, though. That is, if you're rewinding. If you're watching the VOD, watch in whatever order you want. Ow. I'd rather not think about an hour ago me. They're cringe. Modern me is the only me. Beating this level, so that's good at least. I wonder how people speedrun this game, like how fast they can get with their times. Ow. Because I bet that each of these levels probably only takes about a minute to beat, if you actually know what you're doing, that is. Okay. Ow. My old enemy, stained glass. I'm not gonna make that. It seems like the stuff that keeps taking me out is just stuff that's hard to see at high speeds, like single blocks or stained glass. Like, how am I supposed to see the purple stained glass on the purple backdrop? That's gotta be, like, a little bit tricky for most people. That or I'm not good at seeing colors, but I don't think I'm colorblind. I've taken those color blindness tests before, and I've passed them. Ow. Okay, I can still work with this. Bead on fire. Not the worst. Not the greatest, not the worst. Oh, it keeps going. Yay. I hope that's a joke because I didn't know that existed. This is probably the challenge level. That or there's another level after this. I don't know. Ow. Darn. I got a new plant recently. I really like it. It's a cute little potted fern, but I'm a little worried that I'm killing it. I've never actually been able to take care of a plant particularly well, and pretty much every plant I've had I've killed, including my succulents, so I'm a little worried because its leaves are turning yellow sometimes, and I think I'm either under or overwatering it, but I genuinely can't tell which. So that's a little worrying. I can only hope that I'm able to figure out what I'm doing wrong with the plant and actually take care of it properly. Because I do like it. I got the plant specially for myself from like this antique shop that also sold plants. I don't know how to explain it. It's an antique shop that sells plants. That's the entire explanation. Goodbye. Not goodbye. I'm still playing game. Ow. Oh, they're referencing that one mobile game, Stupid Deaths. Wait, no. Horrible Histories, that's what's being referenced. I guess they're British. Yeah, that's a funny little thing. Horrible Histories, it's good in small doses. Probably better for kids than adults, honestly. So that or it's not my style of humor. I don't know. Ow. Yeah, that's probably beneficial actually because it'll help me go a little bit slower through this area. This is frustrating. I can only hope that I can beat this. Can I beat it? My God, when I am the control. Swap me home. Oh yeah, I'm actually making a Minecraft resource pack right now. I've finished some of the weapons and a couple of the armors. I don't really know if I'm ever gonna make it fully, but it's fun as like a little side project, I guess. So yeah. There we are, there we are. Perfect, perfect. Awesome, fabulous. Oh, you're slaying, you're doing it. You go so hard. Oh, hip, circle around. You're fine, you're fine. Keep up the beat. Keep up the pizza for the pizza. Okay, this is the furthest I've gotten. Let's hope I don't beef it. I'm gonna beef it. I'm gonna beef it. I died doing what I love. Failing. Failure. Oh. Tragic. Oh well. actually made it through that time despite not going through the hoops. That's good. I can still work with this maybe? No. Alright, let's do this. Sure, it'd be nice if I had rockets. Oh well. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make it. Boop. I mean, I didn't think it was cool, I more thought it was a phrase. It's funny, the origins of Pog. Sucks for the guy who popularized it, though, that he did something, I think, that was bad. I don't remember what, but I think it was kind of a thing where it went badly for him. Too bad. My memory's a fuzzy little thing. Ooh. Okay. That's great. There's a 9-hour time limit? Oh no. Yeah. Okay. I've been playing for less than that amount of time, but maybe there is actually a time limit I wouldn't know. Hope I don't figure out. Let's hope I don't find out. Oh. Oh. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza. Oh no. Yeah, they'll all see me. This is not the most fun. Maybe that's why raging happens. It's because people are forced to, by their own little brains, to tell them, hey, you need to keep playing even though you're frustrated. Hey, what if you keep playing even though you've died 50 times? And the person's like, you're right, I have to keep playing for the sake of, I don't know, whatever. And then they just keep playing and they get angry. Yeah. I don't really understand the point of anger. Maybe it had like a point in early history, like prehistory, like when we were all lizards or something. But it seems like just kind of a not very good emotion to have a lot of the time. Like, it has its uses to get people riled up for doing things. Basically an alternative to fear, I guess. But it feels like it's sort of a weird hair trigger that just kind of triggers without reason. Like, there's no reason for people to get angry a lot of the time. I'm saying this because I'm frustrated, but I could probably become angry if I wanted to. I don't think angry me would be fun, though, so no. Fun for me or anyone else, honestly. You can emote? Do you mean crouching? Does Terra Swoop Force have emotes? I swear I'm getting new messages. Maybe the you've seen every death message, you can stop dying now thing is also a random death message? That would be funny. At the very least, the pizza beats are very groovy. Gotta love a good pizza beat. Pizza beatsa. I wanted to do a video where I ate a bunch of meatballs. I'm probably gonna still do the video, but I'm gonna end up having a slight allergic reaction because it turns out in between me having the idea for the meatball video and gonna be doing the meatball video, I became allergic to wheat, which sucks. I mean, not celiacs or anything, because in that case I would be avoiding the meatballs altogether. That's a funny death message. I like they wrote so many death messages. That's good. I don't. Oh, I have no style. I have no grace. Oh. I only hope this is the last level and it's like challenging me. Ow. I could look it up. That might be good. Because I have said earlier in this stream that I'm like a visual person. Nope. Okay. Made it through there. Made it through there. I can make it through here. It'll just take some effort. Oh, that's what's going on. I'm gonna test something. Okay. I don't really think I can go very much higher, but I can go lower. That's good to know. Ow. I am cheese, the tunnel's the greater. They said hello, the tunnel said later. Ah. I am cheese being put through a grater of life. Yep, the messages are repeating. They go into my brain and I'm dying slowly, rotting as I speak. There we are. Pizza, pizza. Yep. That wasn't gonna work. I had lost too much speed. Too much speed set for my pizza. I've probably been stuck on this one level for like 30 minutes now. That sucks. Ow. 2! That's a lot of sand. That's like a whole stack. Oh no. Ow. Wait, does that mean that Noxcrew, like, works with MCC? Because they have Terra Swoop Force in it, right? Huh. That'd be interesting. Ow. I don't even know what I'd want with the Declaration of Independence. I don't think if you put lemon juice on the Declaration of Independence, it'll actually lead to a secret base where you can get Thomas Jefferson's golden tooth or something. I think that's just a thing from the movie where they steal the Declaration of Independence. Okay. Yo! Okay, I actually worked it out whilst having kind of cruddy speed. Yep, nothing I can do here. I'm turning myself into a sweet fizzy drink. I like fermentation. It makes a lot of our foods. You just leave something out to rot in a special way and it becomes an entirely new dish. Like soy sauce, or bread, or kvass, or kombucha, alcohol, vinegar, and by extension, those vinegar drinks that you can have. Where it's like vinegar mixed with fruit juice and it's gonna taste real good. Yeah, yummy stuff. I dislike it when appliances are made hard to fix. If I can't take apart my appliance and put it back together, then that feels like a bit of a design flaw. Sometimes you need devices that you can't take apart and put back together because the ones that you can kind of suck. That's why I have Apple devices. They can't be taken apart and put back together, but they're still some of the better ones on the market for my specific needs. Which can't really be achieved with, you know, Android devices that can be taken apart and put back together. Like the Free Phone, I think is what it's called, or the Zero Phone, I don't know. But you can actually like replace the battery, replace the memory, add on to the memory of that one. It just doesn't have the kind of stuff I need out of a phone, so I go with the Apple one instead. Ow. I wish there was like a kill button, because I know when I'm gonna die, but it still takes like 3 extra seconds every single time. Like there, I couldn't have saved it there. Even if I'd gotten through that area, I wouldn't have had enough speed. Ow. Oh, wait, I was their 1000th death, and that means I won a lifetime supply and I was dead, so... Ha, that's funny. Oh, move my mic a little bit. There we are. I'm still using the Lego standee for my microphone. It's effective, if a little bit silly looking. Oh. Horsey noises. Most shirts aren't really tailored to fit right. Probably because they're meant to fit a wide variety of people, so you end up with clothing that doesn't quite fit you right no matter what you do. Unless you tailor it yourself, I guess, but it's really hard to tailor stretchy fabrics. And a lot of fabrics nowadays are stretchy because they have polyester in them and stuff, which makes them hard to tailor. I guess if all of my clothing was made of pure 100% cotton or linen or silk or something like that, I'd have an easier time with tailoring my own clothes, but they aren't, so I do. Yeah. Oh dear, I've died a lot in this tunnel, huh? Oof. I really do hope that I'm done with this tunnel soon. Yep, I'm gonna die. No saving that one. I died with a score so low they couldn't calculate it. Nice. Or I died with a score so high they couldn't calculate it. I don't know. Pizza time. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Woo! At least I'm listening to some groovy tunes. That's good. I know what I would do if I wasn't having any groovy tunes to listen to. given that the music stopped playing because I've been playing it and subsequently dying for so long that I think it kind of freaked out and doesn't know what to play. Actually, during this time, okay. I'm gonna try going through the other option. Ow. Yeah, blue shell me. Oh well, too bad, so sad. Get a dreary day, a day away. A dreary day, a day away. Oh, whatever shall you do? Whatever shall you say? Whatever shall you mean? Whatever shall you... Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-do. How do you milk a squid? The ink, I guess? Done did die dead. I sure did done did die dead. I am dead die dead. Did die? Did die? I did. So I die dead. I'm losing track of what I'm saying. I wonder what genres streaming has. There's gameplay streamers, talking streamers, but that's more like saying that hospital show is a genre. When you can have a hospital show that's like a comedy or a tragedy, and they're all hospital shows, so that makes me wonder, like, what differentiates a hospital show that's, you know, about people in a hospital, or a hospital show that's about the patients. You know, they could be dramas, comedies, whatever. I wonder what the streamer genres are. I bet there's one that's just man suffering. That's the oldest of the streamer genres, is person suffering. Starting way back in the 80s or 90s when they just locked a guy in a room for 300 days. Without any human interaction other than delivery people. That's... yeah, that's a genuine... that one was genuinely horrifying. I don't really know how that reality TV show made it past anyone, really. Because that's really bad. Yeah. Pizza. Ooh, doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Pizza, pizza. Doo doo boo boo. Doo 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 boo boo. Doo 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 boo. Doo doo. Pizza. Huh. Oh, that's been going on for a while. 1 second. There we are. Yep, that's gonna be a fail. I don't really care that I haven't beaten it yet. I'm nearly done with Pizza Tower Music Extended. And I said that once that finished, I'd be done, so bye. I'll just beat this off stream.